One of the main reasons that we get patellofemoral pain is if we have weakness in our glutes and around our hip. So in today's video, I'm going to give you a few suggestions that you can try at home to help strengthen your glutes. And do make sure you stay tuned until the very end of the video, as I'll be taking you through how many reps and sets you need to be achieving if we're trying to improve our strength. And we're going to start right now. Just before we dive into the video, if this is the first time we've met, then welcome to Genuine Physio. My name's Luke and I'm a senior musculoskeletal physiotherapist from the UK. If you would like to know more about patellofemoral pain and all other things pain and rehabilitation, then consider hitting that subscribe button and tapping the notification bell so you get notified every time I release a new video, which I do every single week. So we're going to start off by loading up our glutes on the floor. We're going to do a double leg bridge, so you want your knees around 90 degrees. You're going to push and drive through your feet, and really when you get to the end of the range you want a nice firm squeeze of your buttocks and then slowly down. Lift up, drive through your feet, squeeze, and you want a nice straight line from your thigh all the way down to your trunk and then slowly down. If that was too easy, you could progress on to doing it on a single leg, and you have a few different variations here. Let's start off with doing all of your repetitions on the same leg in one go. You could do that. Your other option would be you can just keep your hips off the floor throughout and then alternate between left and right. Another thing to note that might be useful is your foot position will bias either your glutes or your hamstrings. And hamstrings are also really important for patellofemoral pain. So the further your feet are away from you, the more you'll be feeling it in your hamstrings. The closer your feet are to you, the more you'll feel it in your glutes. If things do become too easy on a flat surface, you can choose to do them elevated. If you have a step at home, you can do it on your bottom step. If you have one of these, perfect. Otherwise, you could even do it on a sofa or chair. So feet on the step, pushing up. That would be your double leg option. And then once again, you'd have the option of doing it on a single leg as well, which is a lot more difficult. This exercise is called hip abduction in side lying. You will be on your side. Bottom leg you can have at an angle, it will just help to stabilize you more. And then you're going to lift your top leg off the bottom leg. Now, a few key points to remember when you're doing this exercise. Firstly, my toes are facing forward. Don't be tempted to lift them up as the leg goes up. The second thing is you want a nice straight line from your trunk all the way down to your leg. What will happen if there is some glute weakness here potentially is that leg comes too far forward, which you don't want. You want it nice and in line with your trunk. And the third thing that people tend to do wrong is you want the bony prominence at the top. So the top of your femur should be right over the top of the bony prominence on the other side. What you don't want is your leg lifting up and then your hips tilting too far backwards, and at the same time you don't want to be too far forward either. So top hip over the top of the bottom hip, slowly lifting the leg up and then slowly down. The progression for this exercise would be to pop some sort of resistance around your ankles. You could use an ankle weight or you could use a resistance band. So exactly the same thing, but that extra resistance is going to put a lot more strain through your glute. The last glute strengthening exercise we'll try on the floor is going to be a side plank. So easiest option first would be having your knees bent and then doing half a one. So forearm on the floor, elbow is going to be directly underneath your shoulder. Have your other arm nice and straight down your side, and you're just going to push up and then slowly down. Push up and then slowly down. If that was too easy, you could move on to doing a full length side plank. So you'd have your feet, this time with a straight knee. Same thing, arm on the side, lift up and then slowly down. You could even have a hold at the end of the range for a second or two and then slowly down. If you did want to progress things even further, you could add in a leg lift. So you'll do your side plank, lift up, and then the top leg will also raise slowly down, and then you can pop your hip back down on the floor. Push up, raise that top leg, bring it slowly down, and then pop that hip back on the floor. Now, because I want to help you guys so much, I have moved the furniture around and got the sofa involved. Now, you can do this at home on the sofa. If you're in a gym environment, you have a bench probably around that you could use as well. So you're gonna start off in this position. You're gonna thrust your hips up, give those bum cheeks a squeeze, and then slowly down. Lift up, squeeze those bum cheeks, and then slowly down. If that was okay, you could get one leg off the floor and do it on the affected side. Obviously, always advisable to do it both sides regardless, but that will be a really good way of getting that glute activation. One of the best exercise to get glute max activation is a step up. So you can do it on your bottom step at home, but very simply, if the left leg is the one we're working on, that will be the one on the step. The easiest version would be to drive up whilst keeping your left foot on the step and then back down. Drive up whilst keeping that left foot on the step and then back down. You could also do that with some additional weight. So you could start off with either a dumbbell either side. You could even have one heavier dumbbell in front of you. Drive up, come back down, drive up, come back down. Another way that you could try and increase the difficulty would be taking a larger step back or a reach back, not a step back. So you're going to step on to the step, but then as you lower down, you're going to reach that back leg further out behind you, and that will get your hip working an awful lot harder than the smaller one we were doing a second ago. Another step up variation you could try would be a lateral step up. So you stand side on to the step, and then the affected leg is going to be the one stepping up. Easiest version would be just pushing up and resting, pushing up and resting. Progression would be don't rest, so just do a very small tap. So you're just going to touch, back up, touch, back up. And if you wanted to make it harder still, you would reach further out to the side. So you would go out to the side and back up, out to the side and back up. So the idea is we're trying to fatigue that leg. We don't want to give it any rest in between. Now, deadlifts are a brilliant exercise to try and not only load up your glutes, but also your hamstrings as well. And hamstrings are also very important for knee function and patellofemoral pain. Now, you start off in a similar position as you would if you were doing a squat. Feet sort of hip width apart. It doesn't matter the angle of your toes too much. But the difference is you don't bend your knees as much, just a slight bend in the knee, and then your chest should be aiming for parallel to the floor whilst trying to keep that back nice and straight. So it's worth trying a few without any weight first, just to get the technique. You might even want to do it in front of a mirror just to make sure that you're doing it properly, and then you can consider adding some load. From a load point of view, you've got lots of options. I'm going to use 2 dumbbells. You have the option of a barbell, a kettlebell. At home, you could use your hand luggage with some heavy stuff in it, or a rucksack with some heavy stuff in it as well. So same movement pattern. When you're ready to lift some load, hold on to your weight and then drive up through your legs. I'm gonna have my feet slightly wider, drive up through the legs, and you should feel a considerable pull in your hamstring, so the back of the thigh. Now you'll notice that I have quite a lot of bend in my knee when I do this. Now I've got very tight hamstrings, which means I should probably do these more often, but if you are more flexible in your hamstrings, you'll probably be able to do these maintaining a slightly straighter knee position. You can also do a deadlift on that one affected leg, which will be a lot more difficult. Now make sure you're balanced for this one because it will compromise your balance, and have a weight in front of you. You can start off without any weight at all, but I'm going to hold on. The left leg is going to be the one doing the work. I'm just going to raise the right leg, touch the floor, and straight away I can feel a pull in the back of the hamstring, and then come back up. Lean forward, you can have a slight bend in the knee again, and then come up. When you're ready to add some weight, then you can. So this time I'm just going to lean forward, hold on to my weight, and then drive up through that left leg. Lean forward, feel that pull in the back of the leg, and then come back up again. And that will really help your hamstring and your glute strength. Now I did say if you stay tuned until the end of the video, we would discuss how many reps and sets we're aiming to achieve if we want to improve our strength. Now we're trying to achieve between 8 and 12 repetitions, 3 to 5 sets. Now what you don't want to do is get to a stage where you're very comfortable with an exercise and then you want to progress it and then you do more repetitions. If you start doing more than 12, you're going to stop working on strength and you're going to start working more on endurance and stamina. So if you do get to the stage where you're finding things easier, make sure you stay within those 8 to 12 reps, 3 to 5 set parameters, but then load yourself more within that parameter. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you found today's video useful. I would love to hear from you, so please do drop me a comment below the video and let me know which exercise from today's video you found most helpful for your patellofemoral pain. If you are new to the channel, then do consider hitting that subscribe button and tapping the notification bell. It means you'll get notified every time I release a new video, which I do every single week. It also means that more people are likely to see the video that hopefully you found helpful. If you did enjoy this video, there's every chance you'll like the video that I have put together on quadricep strength for patellofemoral pain, and there's a whole playlist on the channel to help you manage your patellofemoral pain better at home. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will see you again very soon.